We are live. All right, guys, welcome to my very first live stream on this channel. I actually have got some people watching right now. Again, my name is Sam, live production tips and tools. First of all, I just want to be thankful for you guys. I've been actually right now, I am on my way to 800 subscribers. Like 800 subscribers, guys. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. And I'm so grateful for you guys for watching my stuff. Watching my videos, all the positive comments that you guys send to me. But I'm also, grateful to be able to be part of your live streams, to, like helping you guys or sharing my knowledge, for you guys to, to get to do what you do. I'm really grateful for that. So I see Peter in the chat. Hey, Peter, wash hands. How you doing, Peter? How you doing? All right, guys, let me know where you're watching from. If you're watching from Europe, I've got some subscribers from Europe, Africa, UK. I've got some people from the US. Personally, I'm from Canada, so if you're from Canada, put in the chat. Let me know. Thank you guys for being here. So today is gonna be, again, as I was saying about, a little bit about myself. I'm so grateful for this channel. Thanks, Peter. Anyways, yeah. So as I was saying, I'm so grateful for this channel. Personally, just a little bit about me. I'm a videographer, so I do video production. I have a little bit of church background, so I've been working in a church as a media director. So that's why I've been making some videos about church live streaming and, production setups and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I am a freelancer, so I have a video production business. So I do weddings, commercials, music videos. So basically, this channel is a little bit of everything about live streaming and live recording. So sometimes, as I just said, I share tips from church setups, and sometimes I share tips about different cameras. I've been actually sharing a lot of videos about Lumix cameras, basically because I watch, I actually own two GH5s, and I've been recommending different Lumix cameras to churches. But, not because Lumix has sponsored me or anything. As you can see, I'm a small YouTuber, so I'm a nobody. It's because those are cameras that I have been using the most, and I believe I knew them the most, okay? But at the same time, I'm trying to get into other brands like Sony, Canon. I actually did one video about the Canon, the Mark III, the 5D Mark III, and it was actually very watched on the channel. So again, if you subscribe because of that video, I'll keep doing more videos. I also enjoy actually doing videos about I enjoy doing videos actually about old cameras, like old full frame cameras, that especially for people who are on a budget. I enjoy doing those kind of videos as well. So again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Hey Peter, sorry, I just don't get it. Did you say, was I clapping or anything? I don't know. Just let me know, because I'm kind of confused. If I was clapping, was I clapping hands? Is my sound okay? Let me know. Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me. If I have any sound issue or anything, please let me know. All right. All right, Peter, welcome to the live stream. Thanks for showing up, buddy. I appreciate that. Yeah, so as I was saying, I enjoy making videos about older cameras. I'm actually planning on doing a review on one of Nikon I think is D600. It's a full frame camera from Nikon, and right now on eBay it costs around $400 or $450. And all right, thanks, Peter. I appreciate that. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, so hey, Peter, go ahead. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know where you're watching from. Yeah, so this camera is amazing. As I was saying, the Nikon D600. I'm gonna do a review about it because my friend who's a photographer actually in our business, he's been using it to take amazing pictures. And this camera is full frame, and maybe on my next live stream I'll be able to show some of the pictures that he's been taking. And this is a camera that you can use to not only to take pictures, you can use it to to do some videos. And it has an HDMI, I believe it has a clean HDMI out. So like I enjoy doing those kind of videos, especially because it helps people who are on a budget. So I know buying a camera, I mean, again, depending on your budget, but I have been there where I could not afford some type of cameras. Even right now, there are some cameras like I want to have some Blackmagic cameras, but I don't have money right now. So again, I enjoy making videos for cheap cameras that can produce good results. And yeah, I mean, it's been working. You guys been responding to that. Peter watching from Kentucky. Thanks, man. Thanks for watching. We got Hector Barra from Chile. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know if I don't speak Spanish. I believe this is Spanish, guys, right? Hey, Hector. Welcome, man. Welcome. I know sometimes I put some Spanish comments on some people putting comments in Spanish, and I'll respond in Spanish. Basically, I don't speak Spanish. I use Google Translate. So I use Google to translate all the comments in Spanish. So I don't speak Spanish, but I appreciate some Spanish speaking viewers. You are welcome to the channel. Feel free. Put your comments. I'll use Google to respond in Spanish. Okay. So again, as I appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna have to use some Google to translate because I've got some Spanish comments here. Again, so I enjoy making videos about cheap cameras and cheap gear, okay, to help you do some good looking live streams on the budget, So yeah, so I've got some comments in Spanish. Thank you guys for being here. I don't really speak Spanish unless I use Google. I know how to say hola, which is hi, I believe. And of course, I'm from Canada, so I speak French, by the way. So I speak French. If you speak French, I guess I'll be able to understand your comment. So I live in Canada, in Ottawa, Gatineau region. If you know Canada, you probably know where I live. And so I speak French as well. I speak English and French. So if you send some comments in French, I'll be able to respond. Spanish, I'm not really good. And okay, thanks, man, for thanks, Hector. So right now I'm using the Panasonic Lumix GH5. Okay, so I wanted to talk about it. So I'm using a 25mm lens. It's a Leica/Lumix lens, which is a 50mm equivalent of full frame. And as you can see, personally, I enjoy the blurry background, so I like using these kind of cameras and these kind of lenses. So what I would say and right now, actually, guys, I wanted to tell you this. I'm using the autofocus from GH5. Okay, I know a lot of people, and it's true. People say that the autofocus from Lumix cameras are not good, and it's true. But sometimes we kind of, sometimes you hear people saying things and you don't even try. So sorry. So I actually tried one day because I've been using the Lumix GH5 for years, and I wasn't using the autofocus on it. So I was just using manual focus, and I got to a point where I was doing YouTube videos like this one, and I needed some autofocus because I'm a one man show. So if I move and there's no one on the camera, I kind of get out of focus. The other solution was to kind of use like something like a lens that kind of crank up the aperture to something like 5 6 whatever, to make sure and kind of get rid of the blurry background, which is something that I enjoy, having the blurry background. I love it. I love the picture of it. Anyways, I tried it, and as you can see, it's not that bad. You have to kind of go through some settings, and it's not perfect, but it works. Okay, but if it happens that you see me kind of going out of focus for a minute or for 30 seconds, you understand that my autofocus is not perfect. But again, I've been trying it. I've been using it to make some YouTube videos. Even right now, I actually took a chance to do this live stream using the GH5 autofocus, and as you can see, it's not that bad. Let me just do a little demo for you guys. So if I show you my phone, so as you can see, it's having a hard time focusing on the phone, right? So it's not really perfect, but if I move a little bit, and so as you can see, it's in focus, right? So you like, and then I move away, I come back in the frame, see if it's gonna focus back. See, like, it took a little bit of time. It's not very fast, but it does the job. So guys, you can see, like, it's not that bad. Excellent image. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Also, guys, let me know what you're doing. Are you a videographer? Are you live streaming for your church? Do you do, let me know. Are you live streaming for your business? Again, today I want to make it about you guys. If you have questions, let me know what kind of live stream setups you guys have, what kind of cameras you're using. So let me know, guys. I would love to know. Let me see, Hector. Can you put the name of the camera in the chat, please? Absolutely, man. It's I'm gonna send it to you. Just give me a second. So it's Panasonic Lumix GH5. Okay. So let me just send it in the chat for you to see it. So it's Panasonic Lumix GH5. So yeah, so that's the camera that I'm using right now. It's a really good camera. Actually, Panasonic just released a Mark II. It's a Panasonic GH5 Mark II. I haven't had a chance to use it. Again, hopefully I will get an opportunity to test it out for you guys. But so what that means is the GH5 is probably gonna be it's gonna get cheaper, because the thing is, when every time a company releases a new camera, the older version kind of goes cheaper. So you may find some good deals on eBay for the GH5. I believe now it's around 1,200 if you get it brand new, but I believe you can get it for under 1,000 if you wanna buy one for under 1,000 on eBay. Let me see. In my church, we use basic camera and two iPhone 12 Pro Max. Great. So yeah, that's not bad. What kind of switch are you using, Hector? What kind of switch are you using to switch your cameras? And what do you mean by a basic camera? You mean like a camcorder or a DSLR? Let me know. But iPhone, man, iPhone is great. Okay, so let's talk about the iPhone a little quick. So I've been trying my iPhone to see what kind of image that I get, and iPhone is awesome. Okay, it gives you a good image, but you need to know how to use it. So I actually downloaded this app called Filmic Pro. So I don't know if you guys know about it. I think I made a video about it. The app is I think it's between 10 to $20, but it's really good because it helps you kind of control manually your iPhone to be able to live stream, to actually get a clean HDMI out. So I believe that's why you are using. Hector, let me know if you're using Filmic Pro. Uh, so Peter Chushla, we use Canon camcorders considering the switching to mirrorless or cinema cameras. We love doing slow zooms during worship, with which we may be able to do with a Micro Four Third power zoom. Okay, yeah, that's not bad. I actually thanks Peter, thanks for the comment. I think you guys can see all of it. Hmm. We have an iMac, okay. So the HDMI delay on the Panasonics won't work for us. Okay, you just so Peter, are you so you worried about the HDMI delay? That's a good one. Um, okay, so let's talk a little bit about camcorders. I actually I have my old camcorders I brought today, because in today's live stream I wanted to talk about I don't know if you guys can see it. It's very huge. I look like I work for CNN. So this is my old camcorder. Okay, I don't know if you probably can relate. If you have, you let me know if you have owned this camcorder. Let me see if I can get a focus on it. There you go. So I got my camcorder today for you guys. So now you can see the autofocus on the GH5. Yeah, so I wanted you guys to see it. I actually have been using these camcorders. That's when I think when I started doing video production, I started using those. Okay, so what I can say about camcorders, they are very easy to use. Like you just connect it, the zoom is smooth, and I believe they were made for broadcast at first. DSLR and mirrorless, they were made for pictures, taking pictures and that kind of stuff. So, but they're so easy to use. They're like, to set it up is so easy. If they have HDMI out, you don't have to kind of go and look for clean HDMI, or like all those things that we do on mirrorless or DSLR cameras. Sorry, but I would tell I wanted to tell you guys that I don't use camcorders anymore. Not because I hate them, not because if you're using them for your church, I'm not saying your setup is bad, but for my needs and the kind of look that I want to get, camcorders couldn't do it anymore. So, hey Daniel, hey, this is my friend from India. Thanks, man. Thanks for being here. I appreciate I appreciate you. This guy actually he started watching my videos when I had like 50 subscribers. So I appreciate you, man. Thanks for being here. Let me know if you have questions. Also, let me know how you live streaming at your church. If you want to share for the community, people watching, They may need to know how you're doing your live stream. What's your setup like? All right, man. Thanks for being here. I appreciate. So back to the topic. So the thing with the camcorders, okay? Let me tell you maybe two or three things. Let's talk about the sensor. So like they have most of them have like a small sensor, and they struggle in low light, especially for churches. Let's say if you are in a church environment, or if you do events like concerts and stuff like that, sometimes we tend to dim lights. So if your lights are dimmed and you only have the stage lights on, like our lighting is not really that is not made for camcorders, and that's where camcorders kind of suffer. So that's why I kind of stopped using camcorders. And if you're using it in the church, I bet you have this like well lit church kind of thing, or if you do it for events. For outdoors, it's still good because the light is enough. But as soon as you kind of hit, like you get into an environment where the lighting is not controlled, then you have a problem. So that's why I stopped using camcorders. So there's the sensor, and there is the low light performance, of course, because of the sensor. And the third thing is the dynamic range. So if you're using a camcorder, you can see, like if I take my Canon 5D Mark III and I use it to film a video, I'm probably gonna make a video about it. Actually, I feel like I wanna make a video about it. But you can see that the dynamic range, like the colors, the way the colors come out is not the same. So that's why, like every time you use a mirrorless or a DSLR, you can see there's a huge difference in the dynamic range. The last thing, of course, is the ability to kind of change lenses. Okay, so let me just go to the chat a little bit. I got Carlos. Thanks for being here, man. How you doing? Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate. It says I'm from Spain. Thanks, man. I appreciate you being here, man. Let me know what you're doing. Are you doing live stream for a church? Are you doing it for events? Are you a videographer, a freelancer? Let me know how you're doing your live streams or your video recording. Put it in the chat. Let us know. I have a Panasonic BGH1 and it is great. Wow, that's good, man. That's I think that's a good camera. I would love to actually get to try it one day. This is the box one, right? The kind of brick kind of camera, I believe. Let me know, Carlos. Is it full frame? Let me know, because sometimes it gets confusing with the Panasonic's cameras. Like we got the G85, GX 85, we got G7, we got GH full. Like sometimes it gets confusing when it comes to camera brands and models. All right. So yeah, so let's go back to our subject. We were talking about, just have water a little bit. Yeah, so we're talking about camcorders. So the last thing I was saying is the fact that you cannot change lenses. So it's not interchangeable lenses camera. So that's a huge, huge problem, because let's say the GH5, for example, it has a small sensor. It's a micro four third sensor, but you can, like, they say if I have different lenses. I don't know if I have my lens here. Yeah, I actually have one here that I can show you guys. So like, for example, this is one of the lenses that I use on my GH5. Let me see if I can get in a focus. Yeah, so I believe you guys can see it. So this is a 12 to 60, okay, and maximum aperture of 2.8, and the lens is great, okay, it's great, but when it gets indoors, when I'm filming stuff indoors, I have issues with it, it doesn't do very well in low light. But the good thing about having a DSLR camera is the fact that I can buy a lens that is actually going to allow more light into the sensor. Sorry. So I can buy a lens that is going to allow more light into the sensor, and that's gonna make a huge difference. So that's something that the video cameras or camcorders don't have. Okay, but if you have a church or you do events where everything's well lit and it's kind of predictable, and you don't worry about low light performance and the dynamic range, then I'll say camcorders are good. The zooming is awesome. You can easily make these smooth zooms, especially if you are in broadcast, and use that motion actually for like during live streaming, so that you can say, the director will say, okay, let's go to camera one, and camera one will kind of zoom in or zoom out. So that's something, if you use lenses like this or DSLRs, you're not gonna be able to get. So those are good things about camcorders. Let me go back to the chat a little bit. So Carlos, I use HDMI port for my monitor and SDI for the item mini extreme ISO with the converter, and we have a little latency. Okay, yeah, that sounds like a good setup, man. So the thing with latency, I think we can all agree that latency is something that you cannot avoid. It's gonna be hard. Even professionals, like high-end cameras, it's so hard to be able to connect things, cables and stuff, and get like zero latency. Personally, when it comes to live streaming, I don't mind getting latency, because at the end of the day, people are not in the room with you. If you're doing stuff like iMac, then I'll say, yeah, it's a problem. But if you live streaming, I don't care if let's say you're watching from Europe. If I'm live streaming right now, if my live stream gets you, or the video gets you, let's say a few seconds later, or even a minute, it doesn't really matter that much. Maybe a minute is too much, but even if I have like 20 seconds delay, it doesn't matter. Okay. The way I see it, if you are able to actually make sure everything is in sync, so if your video or your image is late, make sure your audio is late as well, and your graphics and everything, make sure everything is late, and so they get to the final destination at the same time, and that's what matters. So, and that's why I believe actually these encoding companies like Resi, Restream too, I think they use that method. The way they make sure like they get the video encoding to the web, high quality kind of video. If you have a bad internet, the thing is they're gonna give you time to upload your video, and then once it gets to their servers, they're gonna apply a little delay for them to have enough data, and then they're gonna send it all at once to the final destination. But there's gonna be a little delay. That delay is really for them to gather all the information that they need to make sure that the video is like everything's ready and is high quality. So for me, delay is not, it doesn't really bother me as far as live streaming goes. So let me know what you guys think, but that's just my opinion. Let me see. Carlos does not get to be a second. Yeah, I believe Peter is in production for his church. Yeah, so Peter is saying with our iMac setup, our latency is 2.2 seconds. And now if we add any more latency, it will be. Yeah, so I agree with you. If there's a way you can avoid that, that would be great. That would be great. I've been actually last year I did a musical performance concert and I was projecting using my old TriCaster. By the way, guys, I own a TriCaster, so that's how old I am. So yeah, so I was using a TriCaster to, and with a bunch of converters. So I was using my GH5 with the HDMI, and then I'll convert HDMI to RCA component. If you guys know TriCaster, if you know the TriCaster TC40, it's kind of old. It's not on the market right now, but it uses RCA component. So it's analog. So I had to convert that and get into the TriCaster, and then it's gonna get out again, and I have to convert RCA again to HDMI to be able to send it to the projector. So you can understand there's a lot of conversion going on, and the delay was really bad. But again, sometimes people don't pay attention to, especially if you're watching a picture from far. It's not that noticeable, okay? But again, if you can avoid that delay, I think it would be great. So, Peter, good luck with that, man. Another hack for me, but again, it depends on your need. What I will do usually, I would try to film things where I'm not showing lips too much, or if I'm showing lips, I avoid kind of doing like a super close up. So I'll get like a medium shot kind of. But again, it depends on your setup. So I don't know how big your projectors are, or if you're using video walls. So again, it depends on your setup. It depends on what you want to show. If you're showing, let's say, a musician playing something, then I would say it's not a big deal. If you show a drummer, I think it's gonna be kind of awkward because he's playing drums, kind of like, yeah. So, I get you, man. I feel you. Let me see. The only drawback the only drawback is when I send my program to the screen inside the church that they have a little delay. Okay, so this is Carlos, right? So Carlos, I have a good tip for you. Can you find a way to, because you told me you're using the ATM Mini Extreme ISO. So personally, I try not to use the program out, the program, because that's what's going to the live stream. So with the ATM Mini Extreme ISO, I believe you, if I'm not mistaken, there's a way you can choose what goes to. Is it actually doable? Yeah, you can choose what goes to the second HDMI out. Okay, and in that case, you can, let's say you can assign one or two cameras to be for iMac, right? And then have it separate from the actual program out, because sometimes there are things that you want to show on the live stream that it won't look good for showing inside the church. You know what I mean? Let me know what you think, guys. But that's just my take. So like, even when I'm doing big events, sometimes I have two outputs. So I have my main program that I'm using to either record or live stream, and then I have another separate feed out. Sometimes it depending on what I'm using. Back in the day, I was using a TriCaster. So on the switcher, you have like program out, and then you have effects out. So I use that effect out to kind of show some stuff on a separate screen. Sometimes I may have like a center screen for like visual effects, and then I have two screens on the side for like if I need to show lyrics, or I need to show like, iMag. So then I'll use those two separate screens on the side for that, and then I'll keep the main for visual effects or for showing videos. Let's say for you, if we have some videos to project. So I would suggest you guys using the ATM Mini Extreme ISO that way. I think you're gonna have more control. Let me see. We're saying. Okay, so I have Dave. How Hi, how did you get access to Lakewood Church? Thinking, sorry, that's the emoji. Okay, were there any requirements or process? So, thanks for the question. So basically, I was in Texas. I was in Houston just visiting, and I attended their church. And after the service, I went to the media booth. I talked to one guy. I didn't even know him. I saw him coming out. I asked him, "Hey, I'm coming. I'm visiting from Canada. Do you mind if I can you guys show me around? I do tech and I have a YouTube channel. I talk about live streaming and stuff. Do you guys mind showing me around?" And then he said yes. So basically, I did not. As you can see, I'm a small YouTube. I'm nobody. I'm not like if you guys watch. Is it Jake Church Front? Like that guy is super big. If he probably would send an email, they are going to respond. But for me, I didn't have an appointment. I was just visiting, and yeah, I got to ask. They said yes, and they showed me around. I had my GX85 camera. It died on me, and some of the clips actually I took them using my iPhone. So I had my iPhone, and the guy took me around and showed me everything they do. I asked questions, and they allowed me to take some clips. And of course, they knew that I was gonna make a video about it. So I didn't really do anything special. They were just good people. They were just good to me. Yeah, that's just what I did. I didn't do anything special. Because people keep asking me, "Oh, what did you do to get access? Do you work there?" I don't work for Lakewood. I'm not even from Houston. I'm from Canada. I was just down there visiting. So yeah, and it's actually been a blessing. I've been seeing a lot of you guys watching the video. Thank you so much. Thanks for everyone who's leaving comments, good comments, and all the subscribers I'm getting. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Let me see what's in the chat. What cameras do you use, Peter? Peter, can you respond to that question, please? Thanks, Carlos. If indeed that is what I do, okay. This is the reason why I bought the table for the two outputs. Yeah, that's correct, man. That's gonna help you, and it's gonna look very professional. You can even use it for like projecting. If you projecting on the main screen, let's say you have a center screen where you're projecting visual effects, and you have different screens for other stuff, for lyrics. That's gonna help you, man. So let's go back to our topic. We're talking about camcorders. Let's actually talk about DSLR. And before we go to DSLR, let's talk about PTZ. Let me see. Who's using a PTZ camera? In the chat, let me know if you're using a PTZ camera. So I actually last week I'll be doing some this coming weeks I'll be doing some PTZ camera reviews for you guys, some setups. This church is a friend of mine from this church. They were actually looking for cameras for their church, and they told me they wanted PTZ cameras. Okay. Again, I have never used the PTZ camera before, but I had an idea of how it works and everything. So we ordered some PTZ camera. Let me actually show it to you. Let me see if I have it, so I can show it to you guys. So yeah, so this is the PTZ camera that I actually ordered from these guys. So they wanted a 30 times full 30 times zoom. So PTZ cameras, they are good at zooming. So PTZ's pan, tilt, and zoom. So that's one of the main use. So because they're mounting the camera really far away from the stage, so they wanted 30 times zoom. And this is the one that I got for them. Is the AV-Cans, and it has NDI, and it has PoE, power over internet, Ethernet. And yeah, so the camera right now is close to $1,900. These are Canadian dollars. In US dollars, about 1,500 US dollars. Okay, so let me know if you guys using PTZ cameras. Again, my personal experience, and I had that in mind even before I ordered the camera. They are good. They are really good, depending on which one you get. Sorry, they are a little pricey compared to some DSLRs out there, but you can put it in, let's say, in the back of your sanctuary and actually be able to zoom all the way to the stage. You also be able to, like kind of pan and tilt anywhere you want to go. You can set some scenes, so you can have like 5 or let's say 4 angles at the same time. You can set a preset for a shot where like you're showing like a close-up shot, and then do kind of like a wide angle shot, and then do another shot like a medium shot, and then have those kind of way to trigger them with the controller, And another thing is you can power these cameras using your Ethernet cable, so you don't have to run cables everywhere. And they have NDI. So NDI is like you can use it kind of wireless. Is it wireless? It's not really wireless, but like if you have the camera connected to your network, you're gonna be able to kind of control it, access the camera, bring the image into vMix or OBS or any other streaming software that you may be using without having to struggle, running HDMI cables or SDI. But at the same time, this camera has SDI and HDMI out, so it's kind of great. Okay. As far as image quality goes, again, this is subjective. It depends on your setup, how many people you have running your production, how many volunteers you have, or if you're doing events, how many people do you have, how much of a budget do you have. So it depends really on your setup. But again, it comes down to the same thing. You get all the zooms, all the juicy stuff, but the sensor, I still believe, even though these PTZ camera companies have been working hard to improve the quality as far as low light performance goes, I still feel like they're not there yet. The fact that you are stuck with one lens, unless you have like this super wow lens, the fact that you are stuck with one lens, I feel like it's always a limitation. As far as dynamic range goes, it's still not super wow compared to DSLR, but they have a good image quality. Honestly, they have good image quality. So do I recommend this kind of cameras? Again, it depends on what you're doing. If you are, let's say, I know some, like for instance, this church that actually bought this camera, they don't have enough volunteers to be running, like, controlling cameras, operating cameras and stuff. So for them, it was important to have one person live streaming using vMix and be able to control the camera at the same time. Probably actually they bought 2 cameras, so be able to control the 2 cameras at the same time and run slides. So like they want to maximize the labor that they have. So if you are stuck, you don't have many people to run your production, I would say these cameras are perfect for you. But if you have people, enough volunteers, or enough staff to do the work, I would say DSLRs are really, really good. They have good image quality, and they can perform for, like, dynamic range is awesome. And you have, like, depending on how much money you have like DSLRs in any budget from like 500 to $10,000. Maybe, when you get to 10,000, $7,000, $5,000, you're getting into cinema cameras, something like the Canon C200 and stuff like that. So again, I don't want to say if you're using a PTZ camera that's a bad thing. If you're using a video camera or a camcorder, that's a bad thing. I think it simply depends on what you're trying to do. All right. So guys, let me know. Put in the chat again. Let me know if you're using PTZ cameras. Let me take a look at the chat. Thank you so much for the feedback. Thank you. No problem. I appreciate you being here. Let us know what you're doing. Are you live streaming for your church? Are you live streaming? Are you a freelancer? What are you doing? Let us know. Put in the chat. I watched this video and it's great. Which video are you talking about, Carlos? Is it the Lakewood Church video? Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Peter, the sensor of Panasonic AG UX 180 is tempting. How is it the image quality compared to the BG-H1? Hey Peter, let us know. Sorry, Carlos, you've been using those cameras. Let us know. Hola. Jehaziel. Hola, I believe that's hola in Spanish, right? Hi. There we go. We got Peter. I'm using PTZ optics, but I would not recommend. The 1080 image looks scaled out. Okay, yeah. So yeah, exactly. So I feel you, man. I feel you. It really depends on what you want. But if you are someone who's hungry, if you are hungry for a good image quality, I would say PTZ camera is not for you. PTZ camera, camcorders, not for you. Again, I'm saying it. I showed you my huge video camera that I started my business with, and I had to let it go because it wasn't good enough. So, and then plus, like, if you want to get like these nice creamy shots with a blurry background, I don't believe you're gonna get that with a PTZ camera or a camcorder. Like, sometimes you can get something that looks like that if you kind of zoom in, really like zoom in all the way in, but it could be a little bit noisy. So like, it's not something that I recommend if you really want a good image quality. But again, if you have some limitations, again, as I said, if you don't have enough stuff and you just want something to kind of plug into your computer, you got your vMix going, running, or OBS, or any other thing you may be using to live stream, man, I believe it's a good camera. And if your church is well lit, like, I mean, you have enough light on every single subject in the church. Carlos, the change in image quality is amazing. Yeah, man. Like, if you okay, I believe you're talking about the BG-H1. I'm curious to know the AG. Let me Google it. I'm kind of curious to know the AG. Okay, it's Oh, okay, I see. I know the camera. Just so I believe this is the one. Okay, okay. Yeah, I think I know the camera. So yeah, I have a video about this small church that I was helping them buy a second camera. I think they were using the UX exactly this one. It's a camcorder. So like guys, this even actually we have one in our business too. And as you can see, they are very expensive. That's why I kind of get a little offended because again, you cannot change the lens. And when it comes to setting up like stuff like matching, see when you're trying to match cameras, the white balance, to set the white balance, I don't know. For me, it's kind of hard to set the white balance on these cameras, and the dynamic arrangement is so limited. So like, man, if you if you're using any type of video camera or camcorder, um and you feel like you're not satisfied with the image, you're not crazy. Okay, you're not crazy. It's true. They have limitations. Dynamic range is not so great. Low light performance. Most of them, their sensors are not really that well. And the fact that you are stuck with one lens, that's a problem to me. You know, the fact that you are stuck with one lens, it's a problem. Yes, you can get these amazing zooms, smooth zooms and stuff, but man, if you get a $500-600 camera like a G85 or some Sony mirrorless, man, like you'll be able to get any kind of lens you want for under $1,000, and the image is gonna be awesome, you know. So like I challenge you guys. I challenge you. I've been there. I've used camcorders before, and most of them, like even my camera that I showed you, guys. I don't know if it's still selling, but I'm sure I will find something similar to that. Maybe selling around $2,000 or $1,500. They're super expensive, but the performance no good. They will make your life easier, but the results not really that wow. Okay. So if you're using them, I'm not saying you made a bad choice, but if you're hungry for some good image, some good quality image, man, I challenge you to kind of go try at least try one mirrorless or one DSLR, and you tell me. Yeah, Carlos, the change in the image quality is amazing. Okay, this is just Carlos chatting with Peter. Looks like you guys are having good time. Mm, I prefer always mirrorless. Yeah, man, me too. Um, Not that I would never like, cause the type of work that I do now, like I started a YouTube channel, so people, futures churches been calling me to help them set up their live streams and stuff, and businesses. So I always recommend, my number one recommendation is always a mirrorless or DSLR. And after that, depending on their need, they say if they tell me they don't have enough staff, or they want a PTZ camera for some reasons, or they want a camcorder, again, I will still do the work, but I explain to people mirrorless is cheap and it performs well. You, of course, you kind of have to, learn a lot of stuff. If you're not into video, it may take you a while to kind of get used to it, to understand the aperture, like, or the whole exposure thing, how to control the aperture, and the shutter speed, and how they work together to kind of create a good image. But those are things that you can kind of invest in and learn. So again, back to our topic, mirrorless versus PTZ camera versus camcorders. Which one you think is the best? Hello, wow, it looks good. Thank you, man. I appreciate. Carlos, how is the Sony compared to the Panasonic BG-H1? What PC do you have? Okay. So I have the PC that I'm using right now to live stream is actually a custom built PC. I can't tell you every single piece that I put into it, but it cost me around $3,000, 3,000 or 3,500 to buy all the pieces. The reason why I don't believe you need that. If you need a PC for live streaming, actually, people tend to buy super expensive computers for live streaming, and most of the time, it's just money wasted. I'm gonna tell you why. I bought a 500 PC for this church. They wanted to live stream, and it works fine. It's been over 6 months. They're using it. It's really great. The thing is, it depends. It depends on your setup. So my PC, I'll probably make a video about it and give you all the pieces that I have or the parts for it. So it's a custom build. Just to answer your question first. So it's a Windows PC. I run Windows 10 on it. I'm probably going to upgrade to Windows 11. And it was bought. I bought it eventually for my production business. So I use it to edit videos. So I wanted to make sure I can run Premiere Pro. I use Premiere Pro. I use After Effects sometimes. I'm not really that good with After Effects, but sometimes I have small stuff that I can do on After Effects. And I do the whole Premiere Pro thing. So the whole Adobe thing. So I have Audition. When I'm working on my audio, I use Adobe Audition. I have Photoshop. That's what I use to design my my graphics on my YouTube channel, my thumbnails and stuff. So I do a little bit of everything, and this is the computer I use. That's like my main computer. So if you are interested, you can send me an email. I can send you the list of all the parts. But again, you don't need this kind of computer for live streaming. Now, if you want a computer for video editing, that's a different story. I'm sure you can get a good PC built around $2,000 for video production. Even 1,500, I think you can get a good PC, right? So again, for live streaming, I'm gonna give you a hack. If you're using the ATM Mini, for example, to live stream, or you're using any ATM Mini, Extreme, whatever, and you sending the USB out for live streaming. So you kind of sending the USB out to your computer and using vMix, or you're using OBS or any other live streaming software, then you don't need a super wow powerful computer, because the ATM Mini is doing the heavy lifting. It's doing all the switching, the encoding, and is sending just a webcam quality signal. So that's why the computer is not really doing that much. That's why you don't need a super powerful computer. Now, if you're using vMix, vMix is a little different. You can see they have some specs on their website where they talk about what kind of PC that you need to get for their software. But if you're running something like OBS or any other streaming platform that is not vMix, for vMix, I will advise you to kind of go to their website and see what they advise as far as computer requirements go. But for like other stuff like OBS, man, you don't really need a super powerful computer if you're not gonna be doing some video editing. So again, Just take some water. So again, you don't need to have a super powerful computer. So like so this is what you need to have. Okay, make sure you have a computer that is good enough to run the ATM software control, the ATM control software, and make sure at least it can. You make sure at least it can run Windows 10 or 11 because now 11 is out, and make sure you can run OBS or whatever live streaming software that you're trying to use. Once you have that covered, at least have a decent graphics card for sure. But once you have that covered, like you should be okay because the computer is not doing anything. It's just receiving some signal from the ATM Mini. If you're using the ATM Mini Pro, ATM Mini Extreme, ISO, just Extreme, and you live streaming in the unit, you're not using your computer, that's even better. You may even use a laptop to just control the software on the laptop and then send everything. You may have some laptops on the side or some computers on the side sending in graphics or Pro Presenter for if you're doing it for a church, and you should be okay. And if the computer can handle that, you should be okay. Your computer is just gonna just use the software to control few stuff for your ATM Mini Pro or Extreme, ISO or Extreme. Then honestly, you don't need to run a super powerful computer. Okay, but again, if you guys have questions, you can book me for a 30 minutes call for free. I don't charge money, and we can talk about your setups, so feel free. Okay, just go. If you go to my about section, you should find my email address. Just send me an email, and then we can schedule something if you need help with anything. Let me see. Since the Panasonic, do you speak Spanish? No, I don't. I don't speak Spanish. I'm sorry. I know hola. That's it. That's all I know. So if you see me responding to your comments in Spanish, it's because I use Google to translate. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I don't understand Spanish. Sorry, guys. You guys are having fun in the chat in Spanish, eh? Carlos, Peter use PTZ camera, but he doesn't like it. Yeah, that's the thing. If you're looking for image quality, you may not really like it. Also, depending on your set. Somebody translate for me, please. No, I don't speak Spanish, guys. Sorry. If you send me comments in Spanish, I'm gonna use Google to translate, but it's not gonna be on the live stream because I don't have time to use Google right now. Hey Victor, hello. Welcome to the live stream, man. Thanks for being here. I appreciate. Peru. Sorry guys, no Spanish. But it's okay if you guys want to chat in Spanish between you guys, that's fine. But if you want me to respond to your comment, it's gotta be in English. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be able to respond to your comments if it's in Spanish. Sorry, I don't speak Spanish, but I appreciate all the Spanish people, Spanish-speaking people in the chat. Welcome. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to leave the chat, but thanks for the content. Thank you, man. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you for being here. Hopefully I will see you next time. I appreciate. What lens, Peter? What lens? Okay, I think you were talking to Carlos. What lens do you use? Our worship spaces are large, and we are usually at the end of our six. Wow. Okay, 35 mm equivalent. Did you put 600 mm or it was 35? 60. I think you meant 60 mm lens for the camcorders. Okay. Yes, man. I'm gonna try to do more live streams. So today was my first live stream. Again, I appreciate you guys being here. So feel free to reach out to me. Um, if you can email me. I also have, like, if you want to access me directly, I can even give you my WhatsApp number. Send me an email. So if you use WhatsApp, I can give you a WhatsApp number that you can like text me, or kind of communicate with me anytime you want. So yeah, just send me an email and feel free to come by anytime I do live streams. I'm gonna try maybe Fridays and Mondays. So we'll see. For the Sony, I use. Okay, that was Carlos. Carlos, are you still in the chat? I don't know if you're still here. Sorry, guys, I'm kind of late on the comments. Sorry, I'm trying to read some of your comments. If you write to me, I will have your email and we are in contact. Yes, yes, Carlos. So if you go to my YouTube channel, just to my about, okay, about section, you should be able to see my email address is right there. All right. So just shoot me an email, and we'll be able to connect. All right. All right, man. Thanks, Carlos. Thanks for being here. Thank you. Bye bye. Carlos saying for $1,000 you can get a great PC for streaming and editing. I believe so too. I believe so. Yeah, so really depends on what you're gonna be doing, but if you choose your parts and you kind of custom build it, I think you can get for $1,000 you can get a good PC. Again, like when it comes to PC or computers, this is what happens. If you go to buy, let's say in America, in the States or Canada, we have this store called Best Buy. So if you go to Best Buy, you can, they're gonna sell you like for 1,500 you may get a PC that may not be that good for you. The reason being, if you look at the specs or the parts, they may not be that great. Why? Because at the end of the day, they want to make money, they want to make profit. But if you try to custom build, depending on where you live, in Canada we have Canada Computer. In US, I'm not sure which store, but you can go there and custom pick your parts and get it. Actually, you don't even have to build it yourself. They can build it for you for like something like maybe $100, just to pull all the pieces together. They're gonna pick pieces for you. You can even tell them that you need a computer for editing videos. Most of the time they know, they gotta know what you need to get. Or gaming, if you are into gaming, same computers that do gaming most of the time, actually, yeah, I'll say, yeah, they most of the time they're really good for video editing. So if you are into gaming, you should that's the best option for you. Into live streaming and video editing, same thing. So yeah, Carlos, that's true. All right. So I went over all the comments. Thanks, Carlos. Thanks for being here. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Let me know if you just joined. See a few people join the chat. Yeah, just let me know how you live streaming. Today we are talking about you. I'm talking about your live streaming setups. Let me know what you're using right now to live stream, and let me know what kind of cameras you're using. Are you using PTZ cameras? Are you using DSLRs? Are you using camcorders? Let me know how you live streaming. Are you live streaming for a church, for business, uh, for let me know, or for YouTube or any other social media platform? Let me know. So yeah, so guys, basically going back to our topic, because we're talking about camcorders versus PTZ and DSLRs. Again, if you have money, so as like the conclusion really is, as I said, it comes down to why you're trying to live stream. If you live streaming in an environment where you have enough staff and you know you don't have a good like your lighting is kind of like it's like you have like this churchy dimmed lighting or concert dimmed lighting, then I would say DSLRs give you the best image quality, the best dynamic range, the best low light performance. But you have a lot to kind of learn. So if you are new, it may be a little confusing. It may be a little hard to kind of learn how to control everything. But as far as image quality goes, uh, you're not gonna go wrong with a DSLR. Okay, the fact that you can change lenses, because lenses have big impact on the image quality and the amount of light that's getting hitting the sensor. So if you can change lenses, that's the good part about DSLRs, is the fact that they say if one lens is not giving you the best results, you can change it and buy a good, better lens that will give you the best image. Plus, if you need like some blurry background, like what you're seeing right now behind me, then a DSLR is the way to go. All right. But other than that, video cameras and PTZ cameras, they're easy to use. Price wise, they actually may be a little more expensive, but they are really easy to use and they give you an okay image and smooth zoomings and flexibility as far as operating them kind of goes. So yeah, so that's really my take on those three. As you can see, I actually didn't show you my GH5. This is my GH5. As you can see, I have another one filming right now. So I use a Metabones. Let me see if I can get it on the focus. Yeah, so that's my GH5, guys. I use a Rockinon lens on it. So yeah, so this is what it looks like. And so let me just drink some water. Yeah, so sorry. So as you can see, for this one I have a 50. It's actually a EF mount Canon lens on it, and I use a Metabones adapter. Again, you don't have to get exactly the same thing. It's just to give you an idea. And this lens is a manual lens, and it's kind of cinematic. So I use it to shoot like music videos and stuff where I'm gonna be editing a lot. You can find Rockinon lenses actually in a micro four third mount if you are interested into getting Rockinon lenses. By the way, I like Rockinon lenses. They're super cheap. not that cheap, but they're really affordable and they are very cinematic. Okay, but again, just to remind you, you're not gonna be able to get autofocus because they are manual, so you're gonna need somebody to kind of focus manually and adjust the aperture and all that kind of stuff. But they are really really good. I kind of like them. So again, if you are into getting some, I don't know, you're getting a GH5, or you're getting a Sony mirrorless, or you're getting any other, even Canon mirrorless. I don't know if Canon make those. I'm not sure. Yeah, you probably would have to buy um, some sort of adapter to get it work with your camera. But I know they make one. They make Lumix micro four third mount for lenses for rocking on. So if you wanna take a look, you can check it out and let me know what you guys think. So I've been using this rocking on lens. It's a 50 mm 1.4 aperture. And recently I bought a G85, a Lumix G85 that I recommended to a church. I made a video about it as well. And it was a 35 1.4 and it's super good. I like it. It got this blurry background in the back. It's a prime lens, so you cannot zoom. So this is the kind of stuff that you need to know what you want. You need to know the distance where you're gonna be filming from, because you don't want to buy a 35 mm lens without zoom on it and expect to stand in the back of the venue and get the speaker on stage, right? So you need to know what kind of distance you're gonna be dealing with, and that's gonna help you to decide which lens that you want, that you need. Okay, but yeah, so I really recommend, if you're looking into buying some manual glasses for your cameras, Rockinon have good lenses and they're very affordable. Sorry. So it looks like the chat is a little quiet. See, got a few people watching. Okay, perfect. So if you have some questions, let me know. I'll be here to answer your questions. If you live streaming using a PTZ, camcorders, or any other camera that you may be using, let me know. Put it down in the chat. Again, that's what we're talking about today. Other than that, I thank you guys for being here, for hanging out with me, for showing some love. I'm gonna be here on Monday, probably the same time. So Monday, if you have questions, things to talk about, let me know. Put in the comments. Other than that, I'll be making some videos about Blackmagic design switchers as well. So if you are into that, make sure you don't miss those videos. If you are not subscribed, if you're watching a replay or you're watching live, make sure you hit subscribe and hit like. I appreciate the love. Leave a comment down below. I appreciate that. Other than that, for Blackmagic switchers users, again, personally, I have been buying those and recommending those for different churches here, and I love them. I love the ATM Mini, the base model without the live streaming and recording engine. I love it. It's fantastic. And if you have a little bit of money, you can buy the ATM Mini Pro or Pro ISO, or the Extreme, the ATM Mini Extreme, or the ATM Mini Extreme ISO. So the ATM Mini Extreme ISO, I'm gonna be doing a review about it. I have recently recommended it to the church actually that bought the PTZ cameras, and it's awesome, man. It's awesome. The fact that you'll be able, especially for some of you guys, if you want to live stream and be able to have the file afterwards, kind of edit it. You're gonna be able, with the Extreme ISO, you're gonna be able to record all the inputs and have an XML file that you can edit in DaVinci Resolve, and I believe you can edit in Premiere as well. Hopefully I'm gonna be able to do videos about that as well. But yeah, so like that's really awesome, and I feel like a lot of people need to be able to, if you're streaming for a church live stream, after the live stream, have all the feeds, kind of clean them up a little bit, go tweak some mistakes that you made, add some color grading to the cameras, and be able to publish a clean version of either the service or the worship part, whatever like you need to publish on YouTube. So like be able to cut videos after the live stream and publish the good parts. Okay, so yeah, so that's my thoughts. I think Blackmagic is doing a good job, by bringing by making these ATM mini switchers. And as someone who comes from a TriCaster family, man, I believe back in the day I spent over, I think was close to $5,000 to buy the TriCaster 40 that I can't use right now because it doesn't have HDMI inputs. The software is kind of done, it's dead. I can't even live stream on YouTube with it. The only thing that I can do right now is to probably use it to project stuff or to record. So I think for $5,000, looking at what Blackmagic is offering now for like 4 inputs, record everything for under $1,000, that's like wow, it's really really good. I think this is the time to be online, guys. This is the time to live stream, and I feel like live stream is not going anywhere. So this is the time to invest in live stream. All right. So looks like it's the chat is a little quiet. So we're gonna land the plane. Again, I thank you guys for being here. I thank you for watching. Again, just a reminder, I make videos about live production. So anything that has to do with live production, recording videos. Sometimes I share tips and reviews about cameras and switchers for churches or YouTubers, social media content creators, businesses, like anything you may do that involves live streaming and live recording videos. That's me. So make sure you subscribe to this channel. If you're watching on the replay, make sure you subscribe. If you're watching live, I appreciate again I appreciate you guys for being here. And yeah, so this is it. Let me know what topics you want me to cover next year. Hopefully YouTube is going to give me access to the community tab, where I'll be able to do some polls for you guys to kind of tell me what kind of topics you would like me to cover. Again, I'm simply sharing my knowledge with you guys, with the community. So sometimes I learn from you guys, I learn a lot of stuff from you guys, but at the same time I share my journey and my skills to you guys. So hopefully it's been helpful for you guys, and I have seen it for all the people sending comments and connecting with me. All right, guys. So I would love to talk about vMix and OBS, some of my next live streams. So if you're using vMix or OBS to live stream, or StreamYard, Restream, whatever you may be using, or Ecamm Live, I would love to know your input. Let me know if you're doing those, you're using those software or live streaming platforms to live stream. Let me know, put it down in the comments. I would love to see what you guys think about those. But other than that, let me just take a look at the chat. It looks a little quiet. So other than that, guys, thank you so much for showing up on my very first live stream. I hope to see you again next time. Again, I'm gonna be here on Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So that's Canada, Ottawa, Toronto time. So I'm gonna be here. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope to see you next time. So I appreciate you, and I will see you next time. Thank you guys. Take care.